Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, and welcome to episode 110 of Good or Garbage, the number one place where you can find out what stuff is being sold in the division on a weekly basis. Now, you can also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, like all that other stuff, subscribe. But don't forget to look in the description because I try my best to make sure that even if I don't cover every little thing in video format, there is a very detailed amount of stuff that you may be looking for. Now, I don't know what everyone is looking for, but there are some things that people are looking for that may be obscure, and you can find that in the description below in the heads up section. And if you guys didn't know, this week I started selling merch. So if you guys love the channel, love what I'm doing, go cop you a shirt, go check it out. It's also in the description, and let's get on to Good or Garbage. All right, now let's move on to the attachments for this week. At the last call, we have a loud vent break being sold this week with 18% critical hit damage, 3% critical hit chance, and 2.5% stability with 50% increased threat. Now, this does get up to 19% in critical hit damage, but until we find that this week, this is about as good as it's going to get. Now, with this, we also have the 50% increased threat, so please don't sleep on that. That means that the NPCs will target you over someone who is not using the loud vent break a bit more. So just be careful with these, and if you are going to pick one up, let me know what kind of weapon are you putting this on. At East 46th Street, there is a 5.52 Halosight attachment being sold, and guess what, baby, it's the God roll. Yay. All right, so this 5.52 Halosight is coming in with 7.5% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 6% headshot damage. Now, I have these already. I have quite a few of these. These were sold probably weeks or months ago. And if you are using an AR, or if you're using something that may need a bit more chance than, let's say, the SMGs don't really need that much more chance, but a light machine gun or an AR could use this, and I would even say you might even do well with this on a shotgun. This could work out really well for you depending on how your build is set up, but you have pretty much the best of all worlds in some respects. The critical hit damage isn't the highest, but having 6% headshot damage and having that much crit chance for weapons that don't generally have crit chance baked into them, like the aforementioned ARs or shotguns or maybe even the LMGs. 7.5% critical hit chance is amazing. The headshot damage is also amazing, and then the critical hit damage is great. It is as good as you need it to be for the trade-off in terms of critical hit chance. So I would highly recommend this if you are trying to use ARs. This is really gonna be something that you'll notice, I think. And if you don't have these, definitely go ahead, try to get those Dark Zone credits and grab this and pick it up. If you do have these, let me know which weapons do you like to use them on: shotguns, LMGs, or ARs. Me personally, I prefer to have them on my ARs. That's just how I like to roll. But let me know in the comment section below, what is it that you slap these bad boys on, and do you have any? This week over at West 31st Street, we have a Pro Red Dot sight being sold with a staggering 19% critical hit damage, 2.5% chance. 2.5% chance and 2.5% stability. Now, if this had 3% chance, this would have just been ridiculous. If it had some headshot damage on it, this would be more ridiculous. But anyway, we got what we got, and 19% critical hit damage is still amazing. If you don't have anything like this in your stock, then you should definitely go ahead and check this out. If you are an SMG user, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for 19% critical hit damage. Highly recommend it. But if you do have something like this, let me know if you have anything better. I'm always looking for these, and they're really rare when it comes to the 19%ers for either the muzzles or the sights. So if you do see these out in the wild, make sure that you hold on to them. And yeah, definitely, if you don't have any 19s, you may want to go over to West 31st Street and cop a couple of these. At West 46th Street, there is an extended magazine being sold this week with a mag size of 115%. It also comes with 4% critical hit damage and 3% critical hit chance. Now, outside of the magazine size, this is pretty good. If the magazine size was, in the 120 plus range, it would be the God roll, but unfortunately the mag size is a bit smaller at 115. Actually, it's 115 and a half. So if it was a little bit bigger, then I would highly recommend this for anybody looking for an extended mag. But as it stands, if you don't have anything with the max amount of crit damage or crit chance with the 4 or 3%, and if the magazine that you have is not really that much more, like if it's only 1 or maybe even 2% more, you may not even be missing a bullet. So you might want to check that out, see if you have something better than this. If you don't, definitely pick it up. If you do, how much better is it? And yeah, is it really that much better in the critical hit chance and damage department? Because if it's not, and the magazine size is just slightly better, you're probably better off with this because that 1% or 0.5% of chance or damage could be the thing that makes or break whether you kill the opponent or the enemy or not. Now let's go take a look at this week's gear mods. At the firewall, there is a stamina mod being sold this week with 265 stamina and 3% skill haste. Now, so far, this is the highest stam mod with skill haste that I've seen this week. There are a couple other ones being sold at some other vendors, but they're not at the 265 level. So if you are looking for the most bang for your buck and it only costs you regular credits, head on over to the firewall and pick this up. Over at Southpaw, there is a prototype performance mod being sold with 4% Seeker Mine damage. If you are still out there trying to make that Seeker Mine work, then you can go over and check this out over at Southpaw. A lot of people have abandoned the Seeker Mine from what I can tell. I haven't really seen any of those in a long time, but if you're just playing around with it for giggles, or if you're doing it for PvE stuff for whatever reason, then you go over and check this out. 4% Seeker Mine damage. Not really my thing, but who am I to judge? What do I know? You can, if that's your thing, then yeah, go ahead. Southpaw, 4%. In the cavern at the gear vendor, there is a prototype performance mod with 4% ballistic shield damage being sold. If you are looking for this for your defense build, you can go ahead and grab one. It only costs regular credits, so stock up, put it on, and get to killing. Now let's take a look at the 280 to 283 gear score items. This week at East 42nd Street, there is a gear score 281 Black Market SASG 12S shotgun being sold with 341% stagger. The talents that it comes with this week are Ferocious, Determined, and Responsive. Now, Responsive and Determined, I really wish they were swapped in position, just because the amount of electronics needed for Determined to work is just a bit staggering, and Responsive is a pretty easy talent to get. So unfortunately, we're at a bit of a crossroads here. Now, the other thing is Ferocious. If you do decide to put Determined on here, you can get Ferocious as long as you have the other stats kind of working for you. But yeah, you should have all of that kind of lined up if you are speccing for this. Now, the thing is with Determined, if you don't know, Determined by killing an enemy reduces all skill cooldowns by 7.5%. And basically, if you do the math on this, if you use your super, or your alt as it's called on PC, if you use your super, basically you only have to kill 7 NPCs and then you should have your super right back again. So Determined is an awesome talent to have. The only problem is that it kind of costs you in terms of your build to balance it out to make sure that you have it. Now, I usually like to have something like this on maybe like a shotgun or something. With shotguns, it works really well. So I like to have Determined in the 3rd slot. I recommend that you try to find Determined in the 3rd slot, or if you have any weapons with Determined in the 3rd slot, you may want to kind of look into that and see how it works in your build and test it out. But having responsive and determined on the same weapon is really, really nice. Unfortunately, they aren't swapped. But if you are in need of a shotgun, especially the faster firing black market shotguns, maybe you don't have a showstopper, then you can go ahead and check this out. It is recommended, but unfortunately, determined being where it is, kind of will make or break it depending upon your build. So if you have a build that will accommodate this, then definitely go ahead and check it out and try it out. If you don't, and you're really not trying to spec into electronics at all, you may want to pass on this, or you may want to roll one of these talents off, because you probably won't be making both of them either way. You're still going to need quite a bit of electronics even for Ferocious. So let me know, what do you guys decide to do? Do you just buy this and roll with one or two talents, or do you skip it all together, or do you adjust your build to try to make this work out? Let me know down below. At Camp Clinton, at the special equipment vendor, there is a military M9 sidearm with a gear score of 283. Now this sidearm comes in with the baked in talent of expert, as most sidearms do, and it also comes with competent. So if you've been looking for a sidearm with competent, you can go ahead and check that out. And also, please make sure to look in the heads up section down in the description. There are a lot of things that I put in there for Camp Clinton. Some of that stuff is okay, some of it is pretty decent, some of it could be a little bit better, but I think you guys should go ahead and check out the heads up section to find out everything that I may not cover in the video portion of this video, so that you can get a pretty good overview of what's being sold this week. Now it's time to wrap things up in the 284 plus gear score section. At West 53rd Street, there is a gear score 285 police UMP 45 being sold. Now, it's rare to see a 285 weapon just in general, and the police UMP is not really the most popular SMG in the game, but I figure since it is 285, and I never know what exactly you guys want, so somebody could be looking for something exactly like this, but you never know. So I thought I'd just throw this in here. And yeah, if you guys are looking to try something like this out, then you can head over to West 53rd Street and check it out. Now, getting into the specifics of this weapon, this has a 22.5% critical hit chance. The talents are Adept, Responsive, and Ambusher. Now, responsive on pretty much any weapon that's close range outside of I would say probably outside of the sniper rifles and LMGs. I don't really see an LMG using responsive being all that great, but that's just me. I think that responsive is a really good talent to have. Adept, not as good as it used to be. Back in the day, Adept being stackable was the thing to do, but now, you know, it's kind of a one-shot thing, and you do get a little bit of crit chance, you know, once you use your skill or whatever. And yeah, it's okay, but I would probably switch that off. Now, the last talent that you have is Ambusher, where you get increased damage by 10% against targets that are in cover. Now, with PvE and really with PvP, like, people don't really use cover the way that they should in this game, or kind of the way that it was intended, I should say. And Ambusher is just one of those talents that have fallen by the wayside, and I think that's really one of the main reasons why the police UMP, or the UMPs in general, are just not that popular. Ambusher is just not one of the better talents in the pool of talents. But if you want to roll this off and then keep Adept, you can definitely go ahead and do that. Or if you decide to roll off Adept and then keep Ambusher, then you can do that as well. But if you were to fix the UMP, and this is just a question to, you know, the division heads, especially the OGs of the game, because I know a lot of new people watch these videos, and I know some of the OGs still stick around and watch these videos even though they don't need most of this stuff. But if you are an OG, or even if you are new to the game, if you would change the Ambusher talent, or if you would just change the police UMP or the UMPs in general, what would you do to change it? Would you give it a better rate of fire? Would you change Ambusher, or what exactly would you do to make this weapon good? Because as it stands, it's not really one of the best SMGs, and that's kind of a shame, because it looks pretty cool and it sounds pretty nice. So let me know in the comments, what would you do to change this weapon? Alright guys, that is it for this week's Good or Garbage episode, week 110. Man, If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you are new, subscribe. It does help. We're almost to 7,000 subs, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all of that. You guys rock every week. And if you have not been to the live streams where I play random video games or a lot of different games, lately playing some Monster Hunter and God of War, some other things will be coming later this month. You should, because that's where I introduce the merch. I got some t-shirts and stuff being sold, and some of the suggestions that people were saying in the live streams were they definitely wanted some good or garbage t-shirts and stuff. So I'm looking into that. I want to know what kind of design would you guys be hype about? What would you like to see for some GOG? Let me know in the comments below, and yeah, go ahead and check out the description if you're interested in picking up some shirts, supporting the channel, helping your boy out. It'd be very much appreciated. Thank you guys every week. I'm Khan. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Peace.
Khan.